Hello, dear students, and welcome. This English lesson is for grade 8, and the topic is Nice to meet you. My name is Tanja Pezo Gotovac, and I will be your teacher today. I truly hope that you will like today's lesson and that you will understand the text about greeting customs in different cultures, and that you will become aware of the fact that we need to respect other people's customs. For this lesson, you will need a notebook and a pencil, a laptop, a tablet, or a mobile phone, internet connection, and QR code reader. Have in mind that you can stop this video lesson whenever you need more time to do the task. So if you're ready, let's start. How do you do? I can't hear you. How do you do? Did I just hear fine, thank you? Well, that's the mistake that most people make when they hear this phrase. How do you do is a formal greeting for someone that you have never met before. It is a question, but it requires no reply. Today, we usually express this as how are you or how are you doing. So, if someone says, how do you do? You should reply with, how do you do? It's not the same as, how are you? In which case you should answer, I'm fine, thanks. So, how do you do and how are you are not the same. There are so many ways to say hello to someone, depending on the situation and, of course, the person you're greeting. So we can say, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, pleased to meet you. Hello, howdy, hi, good day, how are things? Heya, what's up, yo. Which expressions do you use? Please pause the video and write down the expressions you use in your notebooks. Let's continue. Do you know the meaning of the word handshake? That's right. It's when you take someone's hand and then you move it slightly up and down, and it's usually very brief. But did you know that there are so many different customs regarding handshake? Different countries have different unwritten rules about how to shake someone's hand. Some psychologists say that they can tell what kind of a person they are dealing with if they shake hands with them. Can you imagine that? But did you know that some countries don't use handshake as means of saying hello or greeting someone? We will read an article on how people greet each other around the world. I will kindly ask you to copy this chart in your notebooks and fill it in while reading the article. You need to write the greeting, the country the greeting comes from, or maybe countries, and some interesting facts about the greeting. This last part can be different depending on what you find interesting and what I find interesting. So maybe you and your classmates won't have the same interesting facts about the same greeting. And that's perfectly okay. Here is the link, and please copy this link into your browser, Nice to Meet You 8, and read the article. Don't forget to fill in the chart. And let's check the answers. In Tibet, they stick out their tongues to say hello. They say that it all began with monks who would stick out their tongues to show that they come in peace. In Qatar, Yemen, Oman, and the United Arab Emirates, they bump noses, but you should not sniff. Air kiss on the cheek is a common greeting in France, Italy, Spain, Portugal, Latin America, Ukraine, and Quebec in Canada. Of course, number of kisses is different in different countries. New Zealanders rub their noses and sometimes foreheads. Maori call this a sharing of breath. In Botswana, China, Germany, Zambia, Rwanda, and the Middle East, they shake hands. But in the Middle East, they use their right hand only. In China, the grip should be light, while in Germany it should be firm. In Zimbabwe and Mozambique, they greet each other by clapping hands. The first person claps once and the second person claps twice. In Malaysia, they put their hands on their hearts, and it's polite that the other person does the same. Bow is a common greeting in Cambodia, India, Nepal, Laos, Thailand, and Japan. Interesting fact is that in Japan, a deeper bow indicates a higher level of respect. In Greenland and on Tuvalu, they welcome you by sniffing faces. In Greenland, this custom is limited to very close relationships, so they greet each other in their own family like that. While on Tuvalu, it's a traditional welcome to all the visitors. In Asia and Africa, you should revere your elders. It means that you need to greet older people before younger. I truly hope you enjoyed this task and that you did it correctly. Now let's think. What about our country? Do we have some kind of rules about greeting people? Do we shake hands and when? Do we kiss and when? What about when we say goodbye? What do we do? And is there something else you would like to add? Prepare the speech, and these questions should be your guidance. Record your answer using wakaru.com and don't forget to send the link to your teacher. Good luck, everyone. You may pause the video now and do the task. Let's continue. Have you ever heard the saying, when in Rome, do as Romans do? Yes? Well done. And what does it mean? Of course, it means that we have to follow the conventions of the area we're visiting. So it's a good thing to do a research about the country you're visiting. So let's find out some interesting facts about Japan. In Japan, we should bow instead of shaking hands. Seniority is very important in Japan. It means that younger men should never be sent to complete a business deal with an older Japanese man. On a meeting, business cards must be exchanged immediately. But there is a whole set of rules about how to do this. When you're giving your card to a person who is in a superior position, the card must be given and received with both hands. And you must take time to read it carefully and not just put it in your pocket. Never, never put your feet on the desk in Japan. They would be shocked because showing the soles of your feet is, let's just say, the peak of bad manners for Japanese people. Japanese prefer not to work while eating. Lunch, is a time to relax and get to know one another, and they rarely drink at lunchtime. But surprising thing is that slurping is completely acceptable. Do you know what slurping is? Mljackanje. So you're allowed to slurp while eating in Japan. It means that you're enjoying your meal. Never blow your nose in public. It's rude. Now let's see what we should pay attention to when traveling to the USA. In the USA, greetings are quite informal. The reason for this is not that they lack respect for someone. It's just they believe that all men are equal, so they act accordingly. Handshakes are usually brief but firm. Make sure that you make an eye contact, and don't be surprised if an American slaps your back. It's the way they greet each other sometimes. Card exchange is pretty casual, but when it comes to business meeting, being on time means being 5 minutes early, so don't be late. If you're invited to someone's home, don't forget to bring a gift. And the most important thing in America is that you should always tip a waiter. There are so many interesting customs all around the world. Let's read some of them. In Pakistan, you mustn't wink. It's offensive. In the Middle East, you should not admire anything in your host's home. They will feel that they have to give it to you. In France, you shouldn't sit down in a cafe until you've shaken hands with everyone you know. In Italy, the chef will be insulted if you ask for extra cheese. He'll think that you find his food tasteless. And guests are welcomed with half a cup of tea in Kazakhstan. That means that you're welcome to their home. If they fill you a full cup, you should be worried. During the first part of a lesson, we talked about different ways of saying hello, and now, as we are soon to say goodbye to each other, we'll talk about different ways of saying goodbye. So here they are. Farewell. Adios. Bye-bye. Catch you later, or just later. Cheers. Ciao. Parting. See you, or see you later. Later, dude. Have a nice day. Have a good one. Take care. So long. It's time for homework. You need to do research on the British etiquette. Etiquette is a set of rules or customs that control accepted behavior in particular social groups. So here I offer you 3 links which will take you to articles on the British etiquette. Read the articles and choose the rules or customs that you like the most and write them down. You should write between 80 and 100 words. And you should not forget to send your homework to your teacher. Good luck! And bit by bit, we reached the very end of our lesson. It's self-assessment time. You need to write down 3 things you've learned today, 2 things you would like to learn more about, and 1 question you still have. It was a pleasure teaching you today. Goodbye!